So today's picture is on Pennywise, which is from a 1980s novel written by Stephen King called It. I believe it was his 22nd book and his 17th novel written under his name. This is basically about a clown. Spoiler alert, that is a alienish thing that preys on children by turning itself into things that kids like or kids are very afraid of. So it does feed off of childhood traumas. Even though it came out in the early 80s, he didn't start with the idea until the late 70s and began writing the year I was born in 81. So he finished it by 85. So the first adaptation of this book was actually a mini-series that they ended up putting together to make the movie. I think it must have did well as a show, only because I fell asleep watching the movie. I admit it, I fell asleep. And I love this whole Pennywise thing. But I fell asleep during watching it because of the time changed so much going back and forth that it just lost me. That's why I like the newer movies with the new Pennywise, because they separated the kid story from the adults. And it was easier for me to follow. And I didn't fall asleep. And I actually prefer it better than the original. No offense to Tim Curry. He was excellent. They just needed to do something different with the time changing. So in 2017, they came out with the remake, I guess you could call it, of the It movie. But this time it wasn't a television show. And they did a lot better effects and makeup and a whole different look for Pennywise. And I prefer this look compared to the original, which was a basic clown. But what I liked about the newer version was he had many different looks, not just the clown. So that really worked in the favor of this movie. And like I said, I liked it a whole lot better because of the time change wasn't that apparent until the second movie, which didn't bother me as much as the original. Okay, now that I have got the base of the white and started working on the grays for the shading, we're going to try to get most of the shading done right now on the side of the head, and then I'm going to work my way further into the face. It's always hard to gauge how to do the coloring, because one thing I noticed is it'll look great when I'm painting in the app, but then when I save it and share the picture, the color is a little off. So I'm going to be doing a print to canvas just to see if the colors actually match what I'm seeing when I'm doing the painting. If not, I need to rethink how I'm doing my shading. Is my shading too orange on the regular faces? Did I go too dark in areas, or did I go too light in areas? That is one thing I'm trying to focus on, because like I said, what I see when I'm painting in the app might not be what everybody else will see when I share that photo. And I got that really harshly with the Johnny Depp picture I did. Did not turn out as well as I would have liked. Neither did the Bridgerton painting as well, which I might go back and redo eventually. I was not impressed with my work on that one. So now I'm going to go ahead and focus on the eyebrows and the eyes. Um, he doesn't really have eyebrows, more like little cut slits. That's really hard for me to try and figure out how to do on here, so I really don't focus on the actual cut part of it. And he has really dark circles around the eyes. I guess kind of like guy liner, so they call it. Um, yeah, really deep goth black darkness around the eyes, which really make the yellow contacts or yellow eyes pop, which was a good choice. And again, I wasn't sure how dark I should go here based on sharing and printing. I've already sent 2 pictures to print and for my mom, and this will be a painting for me that will go up near a ventriloquist dummy that I made, and I'll show you what that looks like at the end of the video so you can see the obsession we have here in my house of Pennywise. With this, I looked for Pennywise, unlike the original. This one uses a not so overly big nose, which is great. It's not like overly clownish, but I think it was a good choice with the look. I went with a dark red on this one, and then I tried to go back and highlight it the best I could. Now, starting on the mouth and the cheeks, he has these kind of horn type lines that come out from the side of the mouth, go in this round curve, and then go back up to past the eyebrow. The lines do stop at the edge of the bottom of the eye and start back at the top of the lid, totally missing the dark part of the eye. As far as I could tell in pictures, it misses the eye. It kind of leaves that gap and then goes straight forward. And so that's what I'm attempting here. When I originally saved this to show, I did not make the bottom lip as big as I wanted, so I did end up having to go back and add a bigger bottom lip because he kind of puckers it out. So at the top of the head, interesting fact, if you look at close-up pictures or close-up video, there are these cracked lines at the top of the head where the hair ends and goes a little bit down the huge forehead, because they did have to extend his head a good bit for this role. So that is the lines that I'm adding, are the cracked lines. When I made the ventriloquist dummy, that was the hardest part of the dummy, was getting the cracks right so that it didn't look too much fake. I think it turned out pretty well. And I did have to go really big for the top of that head as well. And then for the eyes, fun fact, his eyes are not yellow for all of the movie. They are parts where he's trying to convey innocence. So his eyes are actually a really beautiful blue, which is the actor's natural color. And then I think, yeah, they did contacts because he has this ability to make his eyes go cross. So that's not CG, that's just him doing his eyes. So for this picture, I went with the gold eyes, which is when he's really like at his worst, I guess. The hair we are about to do is it's not really red like some people paint his hair. It's more of an orange. And most of his costume wigs that you can buy for Halloween and stuffed plushies is orange, or more of a reddish orange. The ventriloquist dummy I made is a child's wig, Pennywise wig, and it was a deep reddish orange color. So that is what I tried to do for this. I'm not really good at painting here, so I just did a straight orange, a little bit of shading towards the scalp, and then added a couple dark lines coming from the head. His hair is in different styles throughout the movie. It's usually down but flared out to the sides. And then he has this little tuft on top of the head.